Now, this session is actually members practicing persuasion skills or the GROW model at the core. We have Philokay. She's going to try and sell something to Jennifer. Please go ahead, Philokay. You're going to now ring Jennifer.
Hello. Hi, Jennifer.
Hi, Philokay. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm very well. Very well,
Good.
thank you.
It's good. We had a good day so far.
Yeah, it's been a good day. Yes.
Well, thanks for getting in touch with me. I saw your message on Facebook Messenger regarding I think it was one of the deals I put it on the group, and you said you wanted to have a chat with me. So I thought, I've never really met you before, so I thought I'll just book a call and just get to know you and then see where we go from there. Does that sound about okay to you?
Yeah, that's great. Thank you for getting back. I was just curious, really.
Yes, that's fine. Right. So just briefly, can you just tell me a bit about yourself, what you do at the moment, and what's your experience so far with property investing?
Well, at the moment, I run a network called Lucian Property Meetup, but I've also now joined PEN as well, Southeast London. So I I cover that area as well. But my strategy will be and is hotels, leasing hotels for 5 to 10 years.
Fantastic. Well, sounds very interesting. It sounds like you've had quite a lot of experience in the property already.
Yeah, I've seen different strategies. I have an understanding of the rent-to-rent strategy, the HMO, the BRRR. But for me, at this point, I really don't want to have to, and I say this respectfully, I don't want to have to deal with tenants right now. I must admit, the thing I was initially going into was buy-to-let, but I soon got told in no uncertain terms that wasn't the best thing to do. So with the funds I do have, I think hotels in the north will be the best thing for me right now.
Okay, sounds interesting. And tell me more about the Lewisham Property Meetup. What was the motivation for starting that?
It was it was an interesting thing because initially when I started going, I was going to the meetup just as someone sitting in the back, because for many years I've worked with young people, and I took, like, I would say, sabbatical for many years. I got fed up with the way the government was dealing with companies like myself. I used to be a training provider, offering training, life skills to young people. So long story short, they changed the criteria. So in the end, I had to close my company down, and I got fed up of the red tape. So I just took some time out. Friends was calling me saying that, the situation with the young people is getting worse, and would I come back into the industry? And I must admit, I wasn't really interested. But I said, if I'm coming back, I would like to come back and help with housing, especially young Black men, as that's the clientele I dealt with. So long story short, I went to Lucian Property Meetup just to get an idea how I could do it without having to purchase a property. And then while I was there, the young man who was running the sessions decided, after a few months, about 4 or 5 months of me attending, that he no longer wanted to do Lewisham Property in the Lewisham area because he had another one in West London. And I felt that we had nothing in the area of similar that we could offer to the people that were attending. So I went to him because I have done events management, and I've put on events, gospel events and training events. So I went to him and asked him, are you willing for me to take it over? And he was happy for me to do so. And hence, that's how I ended up running Lewisham Property Meetup.
That's absolutely amazing. I mean, that's very interesting. It sounds like you're somebody who kind of just goes for what you actually want, which is interesting. And how is that going at the moment? Are you coping, managing okay with it? Are you how is that?
During the lockdown, I started doing it bi-monthly. It used to be a monthly thing, but I started doing it bi-monthly, and it's working. People have been coming online. It was initially free for quite, for the couple of years that it was online. I'm now starting to charge. So the numbers have gone down a little bit, but it is what it is. Gradually, hopefully we'll build the numbers back up. So I'm happy with it. It's a new adventure now, adding PEN on to and how we can grow that and make that as successful as possible. So yeah.
Interesting you mentioned PN. I do know Jack, and Jack's actually done a few deals with me. Yeah, I know Jack, and he's quite a decent person, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a good lad. No, he's a fine gentleman.
How is that going?
I do intend to kick some people's ass.
Sorry, Philokay. I got caught up. What was the question?
The hotel lead event, how is that going, and how did you get into hotel lead?
Well, I will explain. I was one of the ones that was insisting that I wanted to do a buy-to-let. I came into some funds. My mother passed a few years back, so I just didn't want to squander the money. I thought, if I put it in something, at least it can sit there and grow. But again, after speaking with Jack and hearing and looking as well, the way that those who have buy-to-lets are going to end up in the next few years. I was at, where was I yesterday? I was at the landlord's event yesterday, and I was sitting in one of the training sessions with the less for tax or something, and it's horrendous what's coming down the pipeline with buy-to-let. It was really an eye-opener. And so I got the opportunity to go down to Blackpool, and I was looking online. And the interesting thing as well, and this is where I have every respect for Jack, we came across, my family and I came across a hotel that we went for. And I rang Jack to say, look, we found this hotel. I think it'll be suitable. A lot of the work's been done. I gave him the address, and then he said, oh, that's one I was going for. So we're like, okay. And he, kindly stepped aside and said, look, you go for that. You go for that one. And, not many people are willing to do stuff like that. It's how much they can get for themselves. So another reason I have every respect for him and what he's trying to achieve. So far, we're with legals. It's going well. We got the draft contract this week. There's only a couple of things that I was a little concerned about, and I've gone back with my concerns.
Is it me, Jennifer? You are very low.
Sorry?
Your voice is low.
Is it? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, let me see.
I can hear you clearly, Jennifer. I'm not sure, Shalia, I can hear her very clearly.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, sorry. So, I mean, it's learning as I go along, which is very interesting, looking at the contract and the lease and getting an understanding of the terminology. So it's been it's something I'm going to talk about when I come to, once I've got that through the gate, over the line. It's something that I am going to mention for other individuals, because even being at this event yesterday, And people asking, oh, so you're a landlord and what do you do? And I said, well, no, I lease hotels. And everybody kind of stopped in their tracks. Oh, I've not heard that one before. So thank you, Jack. You made me very popular yesterday.
Thank you.
Because
Thank
people
you.
hadn't really got their head around it. It was new to a lot of the people who's I was talking to. So they were like, oh, can we call you when, when you're a bit further along? I said, yeah, feel free. So, yeah, it's been good. It's been good. So far, I'm learning a lot in relation to how all of that works.
Amazing, Jennifer. Thanks for sharing all this with me. And it sounds like you're doing so many things and very interesting things, I must say. I'm just thinking, I'm just trying to put everything into perspective. I know you've just only contacted me for a deal, but I like to form long-term relationships with with my investors or potential investors or people I'm going to work with in the long term. And I like to see how my strategy will fit with your future plans as well. And I'm just looking at everything you're doing and trying to understand, if you don't mind explaining how is this all going to tie up? What is long-term goal? Say in the next 5 years, what do you hope that all this ties up into?
Well, in the next 5 years, my aim would be, once I've gone and worked in this industry and see how it can be automated and all the rest, I would like to actually purchase instead of renting. Maybe that will be something I would consider. So I would be, it's interesting. I was looking at something the other day, and a 14-bed, it needed work doing, but it was 14 bedrooms, previously a guest house. And if it was something I thought, well, if I had the funds, it would be something I would consider maybe purchasing. So that would be the aim. If it's not purchased, then to get more leased hotels under our belt. Yeah, maybe another 5. Well, about 3, 4. But yeah.
Okay. Well, just to give you a bit of a summary about this deal, because we've not talked about the deal. So it's a 6-bed house at the moment, which we're looking to do up to an HMO. And it will be a good cash flow in HMO at the end of the refurb, and it's going to come up to about 8 beds, giving 20% return on investment. And I'm just thinking about what you want and what you want to achieve. It is a good, I've done the numbers, and I'm happy to share that with you as well. And I know you're with Jack, so I'm sure Jack can help you look at it as well. It's a fantastic deal. It's just I'm not in a position to put the money in it at the moment. I have people on ground that can do the work, so it will give you that hands-free investment that you're actually looking for. And the aim is for us to go in and then refinance and pull the investors' money back out.
And how long would you be Sorry, how long would that you'd be sitting on my money? How long?
So I'm looking about 12 months, but just because of just for contingencies and all that, I'm going to say 18 months is what we're looking at. But it could come out sooner.
And what about the interest? How would that be paid?
So that will be paid at the end of every 6 months, so that we don't dry up all the cash that we have, and then we'll give you the money back gradually after every 6 months.
What's the minimum amount to come in?
So the minimum amount to come in will be 50K, so that it reduces the amount of people that I actually put into this deal.
Okay. It sounds a good idea, but thinking about it, and after actually talking with you and talking through what I'm looking to do, I don't really think this could work for me right now.
Sure. Any reason why? I'm not pushing. I just want to understand. To when I talk to
I totally understand. But I'm looking at 50K.
Yes.
That could help me if I had the 50K to look at getting a hotel.
True.
You know what I'm saying? That's going to be my remit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I chip in?
No problem. Thank you, Jennifer.
All right, guys, you did both really well. Okay. I'm gonna give you some feedback, okay, so you can see what's happening.
Yeah.
So Philokay, you did really well.
Yeah,
Jennifer,
very
thank
good.
you for being really nice to her. But here is a challenge, Philokay. Before Jennifer asks you any questions, your job is to first explain everything so damn well that she has very few questions. Okay, which is what you didn't do. So what you did was you did the G and the R really well, but your options part, you didn't ask any questions. So, or explained well enough. So don't just jump into it. First, understand expectations and explain your options so well. It's almost like you first understanding expectations, and then you're explaining your product so well that when they are doing their mind psychological comparison in their mind, that your product comes out better. Does that make sense?
Yes, makes sense actually. Thinking about it, I should have brought the hotels back in and done like a bit of comparables for her, isn't it? So it makes sense easier.
Yes. You don't want to, even though you started well, but you were playing a losing game, okay? Because you did not clear expectations and you did not explain your product well enough. Okay? It's not very difficult. Trust me, it takes a bit of time. I can tell you all of my communication, I can tell you now, every single bit of my communication, either it is business or personal, is based on Grow Model. Every single time when someone would ask me something, unless I don't know expectations, I'm not answering the question. Have you seen me, Philokay? You ask me a question, I don't reply, I ask you a question instead. That's because before I tell you something, I want to know what the expectations are. Okay, I'm not going to give you an answer just because you're asking me. I'm going to give you an answer when I know the expectations. And if those expectations cannot be met by my answer, then obviously it doesn't make sense. Okay, but again, well done. That was a good session between the two of you. Who else wants to try here? Well done, guys. Thank you. I can see Noreen.
Yes, I'm still here.
Yeah, Noreen, would you like to try the Grow Model? Have you practiced this? Have you watched the training videos?
I've not practiced it.
You've seen a training video.
Yeah, I watched some of them. Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to try it with someone here?
Sure, why not?
Okay. Robert, can you speak?
Yeah, I don't trust the internet connection because I'm jumping in and out all the time, unfortunately.
Okay. So what's going to happen is, okay, so before you two start the session, okay, I'd like some more feedback on this, okay? So Philokay, Jennifer, and then everyone else as well, okay? One thing, there's three things that I'd like to share here, okay? One is knowing yourself really well, okay? Now, what do I mean by that? Jennifer, can I see you?
Huh?
Where are you? Yeah, hi Jennifer, can you hear me?
I'm sorry, yes. Were you talking to me?
Yes, I was going to ask you a question.
Oh, ask away. Sorry.
Okay. So here's a question for you. If you don't like tenants and you're buying a hotel, you're going to have tenants every day.
No, what I meant was, what I meant in that respect, they would have to leave. I don't have to go to court. They won't be here long. Yeah, I don't have to go to court to get them evicted.
Okay, I get that. Okay, thank you. The reason I asked that question is because most people struggle with their life purely because they don't know themselves enough. And the day you know more about yourself, the more you know, the less you will struggle. Okay, so it's very important to know yourself. Abundance mentality is another one. Okay, guys. Remember, there are almost 8 billion people in the world and there's about 83 trillion money. Okay, 83 trillion. There's enough for every one of us to live a fairly good life. You don't need to be greedy. Okay. And the third, but not the last, but not the least from that conversation was, none of this matters if you are not making money and that money is hitting your account. Does that make sense? And that starts to happen when you know how to close deals. Either it is property deals, finance deals, investment deals, bringing an investor on board, delivering a deal with profit. When you know all of this and getting a yes, that's when you make a profit. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So please bear in mind that all of this makes a big difference. Okay. So now it's Noreen and Robert. Please go. Noreen, you're trying to sell something to Robert. In fact, let's do it the other way around.
Oh,
Robert, you're trying to sell Noreen a deal. Okay. You've not spoken, so you've chatted with her on social media. She's given you a number, and now you're calling her. So you're going to get to know her, build some rapport, understand expectations, understand what she's focused on, and then see where she wants to be in the next few years, and then how your products or your properties or your journey can help her in the journey. Okay? Is that okay?
yeah, you really put me on a hot spot here.
No, trust me, we're all doing this. I do this all day long. The aim is not to put you under any light, but it's all about practicing it and getting better at this, okay?
Absolutely.
Please go ahead.
Hello, Noreen. This is Samuel. How are you doing today?
Oh, hi, Samuel. I'm fine. Not too bad at all, thanks.
Good, good, good. So, how can I help you?
I contacted you because I'm actually trying to invest in some property, and you were referred to me. So I thought I'd give you a call to see if you can help me.
Absolutely, absolutely. I should do my very best. What kind of properties are you searching for?
I'm actually looking for, I don't know, 5-bed properties, HMO up north somewhere.
5-bed properties, HMO up north, anywhere. What's the price around?
I don't know. I've got like 200K to spend, so anything within that budget.
200K. That sounds interesting. So have you been doing this for a while? Are you a newcomer or you've been doing investments before?
I'm actually a newcomer.
So you've never gone through the process before?
I've not been the process. I mean, I understand the process, but I've just not actually dipped my toes in it. So I'm ready to do that now.
Absolutely. I just want to know how much we need to help you to go further. But so you have the 5-bed HMO you're interested in for about 200K in the north. So the property you're searching for, is it going to be finished so it's hands-on, or you want to have it for refurbished?
I don't mind, actually. I don't mind a bit of, I don't mind. Yeah, it just depends on the deal and the end result.
Absolutely. Yeah. So if there's tenants already, that's a good deal for you, or do you want to have it empty?
Oh, no, if you can get tenanted, that'd be fantastic, yeah.
So that's a plus.
Definitely.
Absolutely. So what more? Do you have any more requirements?
No, it's got just been a very good location near the colleges, universities, etc., that kind of thing. I was looking in the Newcastle area because I've got family up there. So I thought, having family there, they may have, if there's any problems, I can get them to go around there and get involved in that way, with cleaning and that. But
absolutely.
So that's an area I'm looking into, but I'm open to other areas, yeah.
But Newcastle, because you don't want to hire any management, you want the family to be, or friends to be involved with the management.
I just feel more comfortable knowing that I've got family close by should anything occur. But I would prefer it to be hands off as well. So if there's a management company close by that could take over and look after the property and manage it well, I'm open to that as well.
Absolutely, not the problem. I'm just going to write it down here. So anyway, is there any more you want to know about? Because I'm quite follow you quite directly.
Yeah, I just wanted more know about the deal you've actually got there.
Yeah, the deal we have, it's unfortunately a 4-bed, but it is possible to put another room en suite in there. But that's going to cost a little bit. Unfortunately, the deal I have at the moment is too close to 200K. So it's going to go just over the 200K. But I should talk to the vendor and see if I can do a better price for you. But you have to expect at the moment, depends on the refurbishment for the extra room. It might cost 210, 215 at total.
Okay. Well, I'm happy to stretch a little bit further if the deal, if it all stacks up.
Yeah, I think you're going to like this one because it is in Newcastle. It's the center of Newcastle. It's very good located, and it's just the money, but 10 to 15K above the 200, and then you're having a good deal. That's what I suspect.
Okay. Is it possible for you to send me over some details so I can have a look?
Absolutely. I can email you directly after we finish this call.
Oh, that'd be fantastic. Yeah, so that would be good. I'd be happy to look at that, and if you find any other deals similar, yeah, to forward those on to me as well.
Absolutely. I will keep my eyes and ears open, and I should start asking around a little bit further around in the other areas too. Absolutely.
Okay, that sounds fantastic.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Well done, both of you. Well done. Philokay, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Would you like to give some constructive feedback on this?
Can you skip me, please? Because I wasn't 100% listening. I'm trying to finish up at work.
Oh, okay, no worries. No worries. All right. So I'm going to give some constructive feedback here. Okay. So well done, guys, for trying this. Samuel, you didn't really follow the chronological order of the GROW model. Okay. You first need to understand expectations, which is G, which is R for reality. Okay, you can start with G or R, it doesn't really matter, you either way. But the first step is really to understand, build rapport, and understand expectations. You started with how may I help you? It's too early to ask how may I help you. You're more like, okay, so tell me a bit more about yourself, Said. Noreen, where are you based? Which strategy are you focused on? What are what was the last deal that you did that, what kind of return that you made on it? That's the kind of direction you want to take, so understand expectations. And then you ask, okay, so what you did there was good, but the chronological order was not followed. No. And neither was, it was all up and down. Does that make sense? Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So the first step to go in is build rapport. Get to know the person, who the person is. I want to know. See, the more you're interested in people and who they are and what they do, the more likely they're going to invest with you. Okay. And then once you know them a little bit, then you ask them, okay, so what are you focused on? What does it look like for the next 5 years for you? So now you're understanding what does their vision look like, or what their expectations are, what kind of money they've made so far in the deals that they've invested in, if any. And then you kind of go from there, and then opportunities. Then you say, okay, I've got this deal that may potentially help you achieve this. So you explain your deal well, and then you ask questions based on that. That's the order you have to follow. That's the chronological order you have to follow. Okay. Absolutely. That's okay. Yeah. Again, you both have done a really good job, but again, it requires lots of this. Okay? Absolutely. Thank you. Fantastic, guys. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to conclude today's session. So I'm going to stop the recording. Thank you for watching.